Hey, find me, Jose Monkey.
You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm Jose Monkey, and I find people who ask to be found. Guys, one of the things that I've learned in doing the research for these videos is that if you're looking for information about a particular topic, chances are there's a website all about that thing, and probably multiple websites. For today's video, I had a hunch I'd be looking at websites related to nuclear power plants, and I wasn't wrong. So what can we see? This person starts the video by asking to be found, and right behind them we can see a large cooling tower. Now, I figured this was probably a nuclear power plant since that's where you usually see cooling towers like this. But it's worth noting that you sometimes see cooling towers at other facilities that are not nuclear plants. But I figured it was a pretty good assumption, if not a guarantee. They quickly turn the camera and we see not really very much. There's some nondescript buildings here and some power lines, but honestly, you should expect to see power lines any place where there's a power plant. Then there's not too much here. We've got a grassy area beyond the fence, and I noted these concrete barriers in the parking lot close to where the person is standing. Next, we get a car that has a visible license plate, and it appears to be an Ohio plate. Then, as I continue to turn the camera, we get a better look at the plant itself. We see a bunch of different buildings and structures here. From right to left, I noted the following. First, we've got this large, beige, boxy-looking building. Then we see two cooling towers. Then we've got this thing that I have no idea what it is, but it's very distinctive looking. Then two more boxy buildings that both appear to have like a brown stripe at the top. And then two more cooling towers, meaning we've got 4 cooling towers total here. And I noticed that this second pair of towers appears to be running roughly perpendicular to the first set. And that's about it. Okay, so according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, I'm not going to tell you how many times I had to practice saying that, as of August 1st of last year, there were 54 commercially operating nuclear plants in the United States, or a total of 93 nuclear reactors across several different states. I was also able to find a website from the U.S. Regulatory Nuclear Commission, and that had a very convenient listing of nuclear plants by state. Now, the license plate in the video made me think that I should be looking at Ohio first. But I quickly discovered that there are only 2 nuclear plants in Ohio, and neither one looked right. I was able to very quickly rule them out because this nuclear plant has 4 cooling towers, which, from what I have seen, is actually not that common. Many plants appear to have fewer towers than that. So after ruling out Ohio, I figured I needed to look at some of the other states. And there were a lot to check, but I knew I wouldn't have to look at all of them. Because aside from that one car that had an Ohio license plate, most of the other cars in that lot appeared to not have front plates. That helped me to rule out several 2-plate states. So I just looked at the remaining states and started going through the list and trying to find all the power plants in those states and see which ones looked like they might be a match. Once again, I was able to rule out any that had fewer than 4 cooling towers pretty quickly. It wasn't too long before I got to the list for Georgia, and when I saw that the Vogtle plant had 4 reactors, I was pretty encouraged. I wasn't 100% sure if each reactor had to have its own cooling tower, but I admit I'm way in over my head here. But it seemed like it might be a good assumption. So I pulled up Google Maps to go look at the Vogtle plant. And not surprisingly, there was no Google Street View coverage right near the plant or in the parking lot. So I was stuck looking at the satellite view. And guys, the scale of these freaking cooling towers always blows my mind. Like I switch to satellite view and I see this, and then I have to zoom way out to see the entire plant. And when I did that, I could see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cooling towers, basically in the arrangement that I was hoping for. But I needed a better way to confirm whether this was the right place. So I just tried Googling for some photos of this particular power plant. And I found this very helpful article that showed me this picture. That looks very much like what we see in the video. Guys, that was it. You are here in the Unit 3 and 4 parking lot at the Vogtle nuclear plant in Waynesboro, Georgia. So in the photo from that article, we can see all the same buildings that I saw in the video. We've got that boxy looking beige building, the 2 cooling towers next, that thing that I don't know what it is, the 2 other boxy buildings with the brown stripes, and although this photo does not show the other 2 cooling towers, it's pretty clear that they're there from the satellite view. Based on the information from the video, I was able to figure out which parking lot you were in, and I was also able to figure out exactly where you were standing based on the other landmarks like the lampposts and barriers and things like that. You were right here. Okay, it's time to check which previous location was closest to this one. And this time it was in Season 1, Episode 76 in Lyons, Georgia. That's about 74 miles or 120 kilometers away from this spot. If anybody else wants me to find them, record a video where you say, "Find me, Jose Monkey," or something like that on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.